Hello. Can you can you hear anything now? Can you guys hear me now? Oops. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. It looks like the thingy is moving. Okay. I'm going to repeat stuff. Tonight is a full moon in Aquarius. It's the last super moon of the year. So go ahead and get your candle magic on. The full moon will be at 9:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check what that is in your area, because if you're in a different time zone. So this is a good time to release anything that no longer serves you, bad habits, negative energies, and definitely protect yourself and your health. Go big or go home, because super moons mean that they're going to be this is an intense moon. The moon appears closer to Earth because it's a super moon, so it's very intense. So again, welcome to tonight's Kiki. I hope everyone enjoy their time with us with these topics tonight. For some, it has been a bit of a hectic week, and it might be because of the full moon that's a super moon in Aquarius. Things kind of get weird. Sorry about the sound. For whatever reason, it was linked up to another device that I use. And I had called myself checking everything. I probably will end up doing a free reading on August the 25th. So I believe that's the last Thursday of this month. So I'll be on the lookout for that. But this topic that we have on the screen is Breonna Taylor. And finally, these cops have been charged. Finally. We've been waiting a long time. And not just us. Breonna has been, and her family have been waiting a long time for these fools to be charged, because they got reprimanded or disciplined probably for shooting in a different house that wasn't Breonna's. But when it came to her murder, they got nothing. So now they are finally being charged. So I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, and I'm praying that justice is done, because Breonna and her family deserve it, because this girl should not be not on this earth. She should still be here, celebrating birthdays, celebrating graduation, celebrating important events with her family and her friends, her other loved ones. She should still be here. They took this young lady's life for nothing because they went into the wrong house. Then they want to sit up there and justify the shooting because they want to say, well, she charged us, or her boyfriend had a gun, or whatever. This woman was in her own home, asleep, waking up to chaos, someone breaking into her house. She don't know who they are. We don't know. It's still questionable if the cops identify themselves as cops. So come on. They want to sit there and justify it as a rifle shooting when this girl didn't do anything other than be in her own bed in her own house, sleep, minding her own business. So Breonna Taylor, we need to continue to say her name: George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, and the host of so many others that we've lost throughout the years to police violence, just stupidity, just crimes, just for the color of our skin. So we just have to, like George Floyd, we have to sit here and wait and see if this goes through. Exactly. It's more people behind it. I agree, Sheila. It's like a cover up. It's a cover up because it should not have taken this long to charge these police officers because they knew they was at the wrong bloody house. They knew, and when they realized that they wasn't at the right house, instead of saying, trying to right the wrong, they continued with the plan. And then afterwards, the crew got behind them to further justify the shooting, to come up with some false story about her and her fiance, just to continue to justify the shooting, to make themselves be right. They took an innocent life away from this world, and we don't know the repercussions behind it. How much of an impact she could have made if she still was here, but she's making an impact in her death. She's bringing to the forefront, unfortunately, being another victim of being a black brown person in America. Exactly. This is Paris. This is exactly what I'm keep saying. When it's time to vote, go to these polls. We actually can make change by voting. The years of us saying that we our vote don't matter. Our vote matter because if our vote did not matter, how did Barack get into office? If our vote did not matter, I'm just saying. That was the most I've ever seen black people in line to vote. People sitting up there trying to vote multiple times. They got turned away, but they was in line. They was leaving the polling station, carpooling other people. So I know that's possible. So go out and vote. Go out and investigate these people that's on your ballot. Don't just go by name recognition. Because going by name recognition, you're going to continue the same system that we are already up under. If you want change, investigate the people on your ballot. See if their beliefs and their platform aligns with what you believe in and you want to fight for. Get people in office that represent you and what you believe in and what you fight for. Because if y'all think Roe versus Wade was it, no, they're going after every other law out there. That might very well be true, Sheila, because gentrification is every city and in every state. That very well might be some part of the story, and it's just sad. It's just sad. This young lady lost her life for nothing. Let's not make her. Let's not have her death be in vain. We need to fight for change. We need to fight to make sure that these people get charged, just like George Floyd people. Those cops. I'm just saying. We need to fight for change. We really do. Because this one, all of them hurt. But this one was just like, it was like back to back. And I just couldn't take it. I was just like, you know what? You get to a point where you kind of numb it. But you numb, is that angry numb? And you just sit there and just be like, not again. No, what is this, open season on us now? It's always been open season. But finally, these bastards have been charged. And let's really, really watch and see how far this goes, because it should go to a trial and then they should end up in jail. I'm just saying. Facts. That's just facts. So let's go on to something a little bit lighter. I don't know if you guys know about this one, but this runner, Italian runner, had a wardrobe malfunction. And the more he ran, the more his member kept coming out of his shorts. I agree, Sheila. You're completely right. So, and he spent majority of the time of the race trying to keep his pen in. Now, we all know that runners and bikers, not motorcyclists, but you know, the ones that's part of the Olympics and the marathons and whatnot, those cyclists, they wear short shorts and things like that. That's part of the sport. But I'm looking like, don't you think you need to wear underwear? What? I'm like, if your pen is escaping, that means you ain't got no undies on. You just loosey goosey down there, you know, letting it all air out. And evidently, your member needed more air. He did. Okay, so either he didn't have underwear on, or he didn't have those tight shorts on up under there. I'm still saying he ain't had no underwear on. Because even with biker shorts up under those short shorts, he shouldn't be flopping out. I know he's an Italian runner, but I think it was like a marathon or something like that here in the United States. I can't really be sure. Let me look that up. Give me 1 second, because I'm not using, since I'm not on camera, I'm not using my phone. It was in let me see. Where was this? It says it happened at the World Athletics U20 championships in Cali, Colombia on Thursday. So it was in Colombia. Oh, he was getting caliente out there, huh? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I ain't never heard of that. I've heard of other things happening during, you know, track and field exhibits and things like that, but never your member being exposed. I mean, back in the day during the Olympics, when the HIV and AIDS epidemic was really at its height, and I remember this diver had hit his head on the platform, not the diving board, but the platform, because that thing is like a solid cement, concrete or whatever. He hit his head and hit that water, and he was bleeding, and they had to drain the pool because they was scared that he, you know, of the contamination or whatever. And the first thing everybody was saying was like, what if he had HIV/AIDS or whatever, you know. I remember that because that was like at the, you know, in the early part of the 90s, mid 90s or something like that. So I've seen and heard some weird things happening in track and field sports events. But this is the first time I've seen somebody member. I ain't seen a member now. You know, they obscured it. But this is the first time I've heard of it just escaping. And I was just like, you know, I guess his member wanted his little 15 minutes of fame. Just saying. But he spent majority of that race trying to keep from further exposing himself. But yeah, that thing was just a flopping out every step he took. So I mean, he may have won the race if he wasn't so preoccupied with his shorts and his third leg. No, I don't think he won the race at all. But he might have if he wasn't preoccupied. Just saying, he might have won if he wasn't preoccupied. I just thought this. I mean, unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it was also funny at the same time. So I'm pretty sure the next race he will make sure that he will be secured while running. Please wear underwear, or if you can, if you're not gonna wear underwear, just wear the tight biker shorts, please. So this won't happen again, because the whole world didn't need to see that. It provided for some comic relief and whatnot, but we did not need to see your member flopping around in the middle of a race, because that distracted everybody from the race. Exactly. Should have bought him some undies and wrote his name in them. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm all for going commando if you want to. To each their own. Done it a few times. But I wouldn't have done it if I was wearing a dress or a skirt. Just saying. Unless I'm trying to do something. But in these type of events, anything could slip up and happen. And obviously, it did. Obviously, it did. So hopefully he learned a lesson this time. Wear a jock strap. Something to keep himself secured. But I couldn't do nothing but chuckle at this one. And I think we're going to keep it in the sports arena for right now. This beautiful woman. This gorgeous woman. Serena. Has decided to retire from tennis. And it's unfortunate, but it's her decision. I'm pretty sure she talked it over with her family, her husband and her sisters and her mom and everybody. But it's her decision. But it's just unfortunate because she is at her height, and she has been fighting back to get back to pre-baby Serena on the court, and she's probably still think that she has a lot to give, has a lot more to give to the sport. But as a woman, I'm going off the brief interview that I read for Vogue, because this Vogue issue comes out in September, where she's announcing that her retirement. The full article will be out in September. Yeah, I mean, everyone wants that. Everyone wants that. I'm going to miss her, definitely. It's just sad that she has to retire to. It's just sad that she can't have the best of both worlds. She can't have her family and the sport at the same time, because she is 41 and she wants to expand her family. She wants a sibling for Olympia, or Olympia wants a sibling. Evidently, in the article, she's been asking, and Serena wants to give that to her. She's done an amazing job. She has carried us along with her and Venus. I've watched them since they was little girls. They've developed into wonderful women, especially in the sport of tennis. I mean, you want to talk about a GOAT, greatest of all time, besides Ali? It's her. It's Serena. She's a GOAT. One of the truest definitions of a GOAT, besides Ali. I mean, I don't care what anybody else say. Y'all could throw LeBron and Kobe and Michael Jordan and all of them in there. The true definition of a GOAT, Muhammad Ali and Serena. I'm just saying. Because this woman has sacrificed so much. Muhammad Ali sacrificed a lot. He went through racism, and not saying that Serena hasn't, because she has. She's been called a lot of names, her and her sister. Hell, her entire family. Just for playing a sport and dominating as a woman of color. And dominating a sport that was dominated by white folk. Her and her sister came in there and dominated. They've never seen anybody like that. Never. So they had to readjust. The people in tennis had to readjust. That's like that the African American French girl that was ice skating, and she was doing backflips, and her understanding of of ice skating it wasn't just about figure skating. It wasn't just about it was the athleticism, not just the figure eights and the numbers. It's about athleticism, the sport. So she's the only woman I've ever seen do those type of backflips on ice. And she never got the recognition for it. Never. She's starting to get some of it now, but she's not in the sport anymore like that. But it's not, I'm just saying. This is just like her. So kudos for Serena for choosing her family over the sport. But I'm pretty sure she's hurt, because she's given so much to this sport. She's given so much to this sport. And the sport, towards the end, wasn't being so kind to her nor her sister. But she shouldn't have to choose between expanding her family and the sport, because she mentioned in the article that if she was like Tom Brady, now if she was a man in a sport, she'll be able to continue on playing while her wife was at home carrying the load of a child. But seeing that she's a woman, she can't do both. She feel like she can't do both, because she was too much pregnant in one of the matches with Olympia. And it's just, it's so difficult to play that sport while pregnant. I've seen track runners run while they like 8 months pregnant. I've seen that. This one lady did it a couple of times. Yes, Bill Walton. It's so many that we could say that's a GOAT. But I could only like really think of two that's really like, really there. Yeah, it's a lot to it's so many to list. It really is. But right off the top of my head, Muhammad Ali and Serena. And we're gonna throw in Bill Walton as well. That's a true definition of GOAT. So the tennis world is losing like the greatest advocate for the sport. I'm excited for what she does next, because she got her clothing, jewelry line, and whatnot. I'm excited to see what she does next. I'm excited. I am excited to see her motherhood, how she interacts with her daughter. They twinning a lot. Did you guys know that Olympia named one of her dolls? Serena posted a video, and Olympia was naming her dolls, and Serena was like, "Well, who is this?" She was like, "Oh." She's like, "That's Shanae. That's Shanae girl. That's Shanae girl." I was like, she did not name this doll Shanae. What she know about Shanae? So obviously Serena is sitting up there watching Martin in her household, and this little girl has picked up on it. I thought it was cute, but she named that dang on Dow Shanae. I was like, oh Lord, she done named this Dow Shanae. I was like, I just fell on the floor and bust out laughing. So kudos to Serena for choosing her family over the sport. I'm pretty sure that she will have some involvement in the sport. I'm hoping that she becomes some type of, commentator or something like that. Yeah, it is so good and urban in that dang on house. Her husband ain't got no choice. She yeah, that girl is gonna know that she's half black. And Serena also is doing the same hairstyles that she grew up with, wearing. So I'm so happy for Serena that she's having that bond with her daughter, and to show her roots, not just the African roots, but also the Caucasian roots, because she is a mixed child. So I'm glad that Serena is not being one-sided with it, and not trying to hide the African side of her. She can't, because Serena is her mom, and we all know what Serena looks like and built like. So yeah, that's a black woman right there. Ain't no hiding that. But I'm hoping that she becomes some type of commentator, like, was that Andre Agassi? He became a commentator for the sport and whatever. So I'm hoping that she's able to do that and continue on in the sport in some type of capacity. Maybe she can coach. That she'll be an amazing coach. Could you imagine her coaching other young tennis players? She kind of low key does it anyway, but could you imagine if she just really took that on as her job, as to coach others? She would be an amazing coach. And then we'll have like some more little Serenas and Venuses running around here. Not saying that we don't, but we'll have even more. And they'll be trained by her. That'll be amazing. Because she's all low-key training her daughter already. Not saying that, she's pushing her into the sport, but, that's who she hang with. So, I'm going to be excited to see what's next for Serena, but Serena is retiring. We hate to see her go. We hate to see her go, because just watching her on the court, and you just know that she's about to dominate again, it's just breathtaking and amazing. It's just, I have no words. It's just so bloody amazing. That'll be cool, because like I said, she's already pretty much, taking her to the tennis courts with her when she practiced and everything like that. Olympia is, picking up on some things too. So it'll be interesting to see if Olympia falls into the sport and what she does in the sport. But I don't think Serena is really pushing her into it, because she's still a child. She's a child. But it'll be great to just see her, that bonding on the tennis court with her daughter. It's just so cute. Yeah, Venus should be right behind Serena, because Serena, if Venus probably would have kept going long as Serena would have, but Venus does have health issues too, so she's like low key has fallen back a lot off the tennis. So I don't see, Venus probably is going to quietly retire, more than likely. It won't be this type of big deal. It might just be a write-up somewhere where she just quietly retires. I'll be shocked if it's on this grand of a scale, like a full magazine spread, But Venus might just quietly retire, and it'll just be a write-up somewhere, because she don't want the hoopla. But I'm hating seeing them go. But if they feel it's their time, it's their time. Now, this happened. Drumpf got raided by the FBI. Yes, I said Drumpf because that's his dang on family name. They changed it from Drumpf to Trump to hide their like German roots. So, far as I'm concerned, his name Drumpf. So, he done got raided by the FBI like any other normal criminal. And they may have found something substantial because I read about some of it today. They may have found something substantial because now Drumpf and his people are coming out saying, "Oh, we didn't turn the cameras off when they told us to, and they went into areas they wasn't supposed to go in, and this, that, and the other." Okay, so if you guys are backtracking on some of the things that you said, and now you're trying to like low-key cover up some stuff, that means maybe the FBI did find something substantial. And evidently the only reason why the FBI is there is because they got a tip-off from someone inside the dang on house that they done took some paperwork from the National Archive that they shouldn't. Now, we all know when Drumpf left office, he took a lot of ish that he should not have, that's supposed to have stayed in the White House. I mean, I'm pretty sure he done took something from it's like a Lincoln statue or something like that. He took a lot of ish that should not have been taken out of the White House because of the historical nature of the items. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. It's something there that they have, I believe, that they found. Because now they acting scared. This man has taken stuff from the White House he should not have. Him and his people. Because the mole was saying was allegedly, the mole was saying that Drumpf and his people was trying to destroy the stuff because they knew the FBI was coming. Exactly, but remember when he was calling out Hillary Clinton and talking about lock her up for using a personal email while in office, while at the White House? What the heck he did? He outright stole stuff. Took sensitive information. Him and his people. What was he going to do? Sell it to Putin? And if they are nuclear documents, selling them to Russia? Maybe? Maybe much. I'm pretty sure he's not the first president that took some stuff out of the dang on White House. Hell, even the Obama said they took like, minor things. Like they ain't gonna admit every damn thing, but they took like, stationery. Like you at the hotel, you take some towels and stuff. They ain't gonna tell everything that they done took, but they ain't take nothing that would have historical prevalence. They probably there because Agent Orange is there. See? They probably there because Agent Orange is there. And he probably promised them some documents. Where's Putin's super yacht? Because I think some country done confiscated that. I don't think it's over here. But I think a country has confiscated Putin's super yacht. And I think he low-key trying to fight to get that back. So that doesn't surprise me, Erica. It makes sense because he's still trying to placate Russia. While he's talking about he ain't running, he running for 2024. Man think he a Roosevelt. No. You a Drumpf. You is not a Roosevelt. You a Drumpf. If anybody vote for this fool, if he actually run in 2024 and people vote for his dumb ass. Yes. That's what the United States has came to. The worst reality show out there. Exactly. Hotel road, towel, menus and trays from restaurants. Just saying. Ashtrays. Pillows. I could go on. But the type of stuff that you take from hotel rooms from when you visiting. But this fool done took, important documents. Him and his people taking them. They was seen leaving the White House with buku stuff, more stuff than the Obamas left with. Any other president, these Drumpf and his people, all you saw was them leaving with like boatloads of shit. I ain't see the Obamas do that. I ain't see the Clintons do that. I ain't see the Reagans do that. I ain't see the Bushes do that. But that doesn't mean that they didn't. But we didn't see it. Drumpf, we saw. We saw all of the U-Haul trucks, the moving trucks coming. They was taking shit they had no business taking. I mean, seriously, what the hell? So this doesn't surprise me that he had documents and probably of that type of nature that he might have been thinking about selling to Russia. Because he owes Putin. Like he owe his rent. They reached some type of a deal. And you can't tell me otherwise. Can't nobody tell me otherwise that this fool is not playing games with Russia. But he gonna learn the hard way that Russia is playing a game on him. And he gonna lose in the end. Yeah, it was a bust. But that doesn't mean that he returned it. That doesn't mean that he returned it. Because hell, he probably sold it. Might be buried with Ivana. I don't know. May she rest in peace. Just saying. But that whole administration is just sad. It's just sad. And crooked is all get out. But majority of the politicians are crooked anyway. So there's no surprise there. Did you guys hear about the Breakfast Club? Charlemagne the God and what's her name? Y'all help me out. Not the film. Angela Yee. So evidently it's been announced that on the show. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, she is probably, that's probably where he hid some of that stuff. Is with Ivana. I'm just saying. And that's suspect. She fell down the stairs, but I ain't gonna speak on that. So yeah, Angela Yee is leaving the Breakfast Club and getting her own syndicated show. Yeah, I never paid attention to Breakfast Club. The only time I knew about the Breakfast Club because of Facebook and everybody else talking about it, I knew these people names. Of course, you hear about Charlemagne the God and everything like that, so I knew these people names, but I didn't really pay attention to the actual show, unless it came up on one of those Facebook videos, whatever, that just automatically play when you scroll. And if it caught my attention, it caught my attention, you know. So evidently, Angela Yee is leaving and getting her own syndicated show. So with that being said, is the Breakfast Club over? Is Charlemagne and the other dude going to continue? What does this mean for the Breakfast Club? Because everything I'm reading is making it seem like the Breakfast Club is over. Like is going to be no more. So what happens to Charlemagne and the other dude? Are they going to, do their own thing somewhere else, but under a different name, or are they going to continue with the Breakfast Club with just the two of them and look for a third? Because Angela said this is a lifelong dream that she has her own show. So what does this really mean? No one is actually really saying much right now. I don't even think Charlemagne came out and said his piece about it just yet. Not at the time that I'm doing this live. Not as of when earlier. Okay, so basically the show is going to continue on without her, and she's going to have her own show, but the way she worded it made it seem like the show is going to be gone because she's leaving. I mean, it's Charlemagne. Charlemagne is going to make it work. If he's going to make it work. It's just going to be a different vibe with Angela not there, you know. So, but yeah, Charlemagne wasn't my cup of tea either, because he could come off like ignorant, you know. He could come off, but you have to, but it's like sometimes he's willing to learn if he realizes that he's not correct in what he said. He has backtracked a lot. He's come out and realized that, some things that he said, he needs to be re-educated on. Instead of just spewing words out his mouth, he need to educate himself first. He kind of like low-key said that. That's how, it's been many times he done put his foot in his dang on mouth, and he done caused a lot of shit. He done caused a lot of problems for himself, So it'll be interesting to see what this develops into. But I wish Angela the best going on to her own syndicated show. That should be exciting for her. A new venture, stepping out into something that she really wanted to do in the first place, and she's now getting the opportunity to do such, which is great. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Breakfast Club later on, and see what happens. See if Charlemagne actually come out and say something. Because he might just come out and just congratulate Angela, and that's it. That's all we get from him. So, it's just crazy. But that is the end of that. But I did want to make a couple of mentions. Okay, so last week I told you guys about Blueface and Krishan and the whole fight on Hollywood Street Boulevard, or whatever you want to call it, that she smacked him and he punched her. So evidently she done made a recent post saying that he asked her to be his girlfriend. This is after he said, I will give you $100,000 if you would just leave me the blank alone. If we would just break up and you leave me the blank alone. So again, toxicity much? I don't know. They so on and off. I don't know what the heck. But that did come across my little feed. So I do want to mention that, because that's still some toxic-ish. I want to send out my prayers to and condolences to the 6 people that end up getting killed in the fiery crash in California that this registered nurse caused. One of them was a mother of an 11-month-old that lost his life there, and the mother was pregnant with yet another child, and the child's father was in the car with them. They was on their way to her doctor's appointment. So the lady, they finally got her. She's facing some hectified charges, but I believe 6 people lost their lives in that fiery crash. So my prayers and condolences go out to that family. It was horrific, very horrific. I won't say anything else because something else had came out of that article, and I was just floored. But that was just horrific. And then there was Ann Heche, who ended up crashing into somebody's house and caused a fiery crash herself. But she's in a coma right now. I'm praying that she gets better, but she has some severe burns. I didn't want to say that, Paris. That's why I didn't want to say it. I'm not even going to put that on the screen. I didn't want to say it, but I didn't want to say that. Because it was just so horrific. It was just so horrific. So my prayers go out to all those families, and I send them condolences. I'm praying for a quick recovery for Ann Heche. I don't care if we don't like her, or I don't care that much for her as an actress, but she is a human being, and I don't wish her any ill will, but evidently it might be it's okay, Paris, but yeah, I didn't want to say all of that. No, it was just horrific. But evidently it might be some alcohol involved. It's under investigation. So I did want to mention that. Sending condolences to Olivia Newton-John's family. She passed away recently, along with Tony Dow and the helicopter guy from Magnum PI. He passed away as well. So many of them have passed within this weekend into this week. So my condolences and prayers go out to all of those families as well. So with that being said, I hate to end it on a sad note, but let's just keep praying for each other and pray for others. Don't forget to do your candle magic tonight. Again, it is a super full moon in Aquarius, so definitely go big or go home. This is the last super moon of the year, so definitely get the candles out, do your magic, set intentions, but you definitely want to release any all negative energies and anything that does no longer serve you, including anger. That's a big one. Anger. You need to release that. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you have not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Join the family, okay? You guys have an awesome night.